With Ramona Shelburne reporting on this. Dave, Luka said he wants an A-list center. So what's next for the Lakers?
Yeah, Hannah, let's talk about a couple A-list centers that are restricted free agents, and Walker Kessler of the Utah Jazz and Jalen Duren of the Detroit Pistons. I'm told that the Lakers have interest in both of them, and they have a scheduled meeting with Duren and Duren's representatives later today. Now, does it mean they can get either of these guys? That is still a major leap to be able to accomplish, right? Because being restricted free agents, both of those two teams can match. I have multiple team sources within the Pistons tell me that thus far they have zero interest in parting ways with their all-star center, and certainly much less facilitating a sign and trade deal to help him out the door. So then you look at the unrestricted free agent market, and there's a NBA champion for the New York Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, certainly would be a type of player that could help this team as a committee. He's not necessarily an A-list center, but he is a championship center.
Dave, we've been here for a lot of eras. There was the Kobe Bryant era.
That's right.
There was the LeBron James era, and now this is the Luka Doncic era. And I think we are fully in it now, and I think that's how they have to build this. Last year, they pitched Luka Doncic on why he should sign an extension, and they had this big binder full of plans and off-season things. And, okay, it started with having salary cap space in 2026. Well, that salary cap space was created because LeBron James left. And they've got to make do on what they have promised Luka Doncic. They said they'd build a team around him, that they'd give him a chance to win. This is a man that was in the NBA Finals a couple years ago. And so he has made it clear what he needs. He needs an A-list center, and he needs some shooting. And I think they have meetings with restricted free agents. Keep an eye on Peyton Watson. That's another player they like. But they have a lot of work to do. And if they don't get one of these restricted guys, they've had a lot of discussions about how to use that salary cap space, maybe in trades later this summer, but it's a lot of pressure now on the Lakers front office.
Thanks, you two. And talking about eras, we got a couple of guys on the set that were part of a LeBron James era. So, Richard, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I love the T-shirt. We can explain to the folks at home a little bit about the meaning behind this in a second. But first, when you heard the news today, what was your initial reaction?
No, I was shocked. I believe.
Neither one of y'all was shocked. Y'all just came off a week-long.
Okay, that's right.
They were all together on the Cavs reunion boondoggle.
So Perk likes to interrupt me, and this is the thing. No, I was shocked because I really thought that the Lakers with LeBron James, I believe that you see LeBron James has taken a step back from and allowing Austin Reeves and allowing Luka. I think that there were a lot of areas in which he would be willing to take a step back. So to see this, and to me, I look at it when you look at the Lakers, if we go straight to them, the Lakers, you talk about they need a center. There's no real centers available. I don't see Detroit letting Duren go. After they go there, they're one piece away from possibly being in that championship hunt. Yeah. I don't see them letting him go. I don't see Walker Kessler possibly going away. Maybe it is. But those guys are all restricted. That doesn't sound as much of a game plan. And then Mitchell Robinson is a very talented, center, but he's more of a backup center. He's not an A-list. So you have an A-lister that's 22 years old that's probably not going to go anywhere. You have a guy, Walker Kessler, that has the ability to kind of be in that space. We don't know what's going on with Utah. And then Mitchell Robinson, as great as he is not an A-list center.
Oh, so what you saying, for the first time, Rob Pelinka actually got to do some damn work and do his damn job. I'm saying it for.
Oh, okay, thank you. I didn't say those words.
So my thing is now, yes, okay, cool. Austin Reeves, Luka, that is your two franchise guys. Yep. What are you going to do to put around them? Can you go get a Trey Murphy? Can you go get a Tari Eason? Because we know how important the wing position is as well. DeAndre Ayton just opted in. So you're still dealing with that. Maybe he come back a better version of himself. I don't know another organization that's under the amount of pressure like the Los Angeles Lakers. JJ going to have to elevate his game even more. You don't have that voice, that extended version of you on the floor of LeBron James. Can Luka elevate his leadership skills? When we talk about young leaders around the league, we don't mention Luka's name. We mention Anthony Edwards. We mention SGA. We mention Jaylen Brown. But we never mention Luka. That championship run in Dallas, go ask anybody in that locker room. That was Kyrie Irving leading the charge.
You guys hit it right on the head. Jalen Duren, Walker Kessler. If they go out and make an offer sheet on either player, that money is tied up until July 7th. So restricted free agency is not where you want to be. Mitchell Robinson, Richard hit it right on the head. He's not a starter. He's a 20-minute guy here. So you're going to have to basically go out and trade for a center. They've got those picks in 31 and 33. I don't see anything up here, a A-list center. But, Hannah, when you look at the rest of the free agents here, they're going to need shooting. Norman Powell, Quentin Grimes, Luke Kennard, Anthony Simons. Marcus Smart is still out there. He opted out of his contract. One name to keep an eye on. I'll let Richard pronounce that. Sandro Mamashvili.
Oh, I couldn't see your hand. Your hand was blocking it. Yeah.
That is the
your
name
hand
to
was
keep
blocking
on.
it.
He is a guy that certainly the Lakers will target, but he's in the $14, $15 million range. But $52 million to go out and fill up 3 to 4 spots here.
All right, Bobby, keeping it real. Perk was keeping it pretty real. You always do that, Wendy.
Yeah.
What if they can't go out and get that big man as promised? How much pressure is on the Lakers right now?
The league believes that Sandro Mamashvili is headed to the Lakers. And that's what people in the league believe. And he would basically replace Rui Hachimura. He is a stretch four-man. He can play a little bit of center, but he's really a four-man. And Rui Hachimura averaged 13 points a game last year, shot over 40% from three. If you look at LeBron and Hachimura, that's 33-ish points, bunch of rebounds, bunch of assists that you've got to replace, much less improve on. So that's going to probably leave them in the neighborhood of $40 million in cap space. I don't know how they're going to execute a frontline center with that amount. I think what you're looking at is you need some creativity, you need some strategy, you need some fortune. Now, the Lakers are not desperate. They have Luka Doncic. They have Austin Reeves. They have the city of Los Angeles.
You said they're not desperate? You said they're not?
They're not desperate.
Not desperate into this year. I would agree. Not right now. They've got to build a championship
I don't want to
today.
make it sound like they're in some sort of trouble.
No, I agree.
I just think that their pathway for them to get the center, frankly, the pathway for them to replace Luka and Rui Hachimura is tough. The pathway to replace those guys and then get better, which is what the mandate is very tough for the short term.
Okay, so let's say you're Luka and the way this summer is going. What might you be thinking? I mean, the standard for the Lakers is competing for a championship. This doesn't look like a team, at least as it's constituted now, that would be one of the favorites in the West.
Yeah, but people have to understand the journey that how they got here. You have to understand the Julius Randle years, the Brandon Ingram years, the Lonzo Ball years, the Anthony Davis years. So there's been multiple players over this iteration of the Lakers. And if they have to take a step back for 1 or 2 years, Austin Reeves, under 30. Luka Doncic, under 30. So they have a window of time, and they're going to need a window of time. Will this team be good? Will they be competitive? Yes. But to think that they're going to be able to build a championship roster with or without LeBron right now was going to be difficult. I just think, in my opinion, that they have their base. They have their starting. And it probably I would give them 2 seasons for them to build out, for them to develop their squad, and for them to be back in that top 2, top 3 range, and then ultimately compete.
Even with the Spurs sitting there in OKC.
Some, man.
I said 2
You better not let him.
Okay, Shump.
Hey,
Those
dog.
teams are young.
Hey, I'm looking. The first thing I said, even with the signing of Austin Reeves, who's going to guard?
Who's going to play defense?
Who is going to guard somebody? For real. Definitely not me and you.
No.
Them days is over with.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
it's over with. I want to shoot it now. But I'm saying, I look at their roster, and I see more problems than what you're alluding to. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're not saying they in trouble. Like, they not going to sell tickets. They going to sell tickets. They know how to do that.
Yeah.
The Lakers know how to do that. We all in agreement to that. What I'm saying is, when we breaking this down to say, hey, if y'all do get in the playoffs, can y'all really roll the dice out here with any teams in the West? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're not
That's why I
talking.
said 2 years. That's why I said
we're
they're
not.
2
You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
Not
but you're
2
talking-
years. They need to
You're talking
swing
about
on
a
that.
very young
Where's
Spurs
the makeup,
team. You're talking
though?
about a, yeah.
Hannah,
That-
you don't have 2 years when
Right.
you're talking about the Lakers.
Yeah, you got to win.
You don't
No,
have
it's
2
not. It's a
years.
win now,
You don't have
please.
2 years. You think the owner of the Dodgers just spent the bag and $10 billion to come over here and say, "Oh, I'm waiting 2 years"? You think they just gave Austin Reeves
Real
$185
talk,
million?
dude.
By the way, Austin Reeves, if you wasn't serving Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka breakfast in bed, I'm talking about seedless grapes, cut fruit. Everything for what they gifted you. Now, you earned it, but at the end of the day, we're talking. Hold on. We're talking about the Lakers. We're not talking about the Clippers. As a guy that played for a historic franchise in the Boston Celtics, it's no in between, RJ. It's either championship or bust.
Straight up,
Okay.
though. I agree with that.
This is what I'm saying. if that's the actual reality, let's say that that's the reality, how far away are they from building a championship team? This one, I'm agreeing with you. If you're saying that the Lakers are a championship and bust team, when you look at this roster, when you look at the cap space, when you look at the restricted free agents, when you look at the available free agents, how many years with this nucleus do you think it will take? Okay, if it's bust this year, fine. But how long do you think it will take for that to happen?
And
that's my question.
And my answer,
It's got to be a lot of shifting going on in that.
So how long do you
years.
think? How long?
but my
2
thing
years
is,
before they figure out a direction.
I just said
No, you said
Nobody
before they was
knows.
contending.
Let's let this side of the table get a word in edgewise, just real quick.
Thank
Nobody
you.
goes from cap space to champion like that.
Thank
you.
Even the greatest cap space team in the history
Thank
of
you,
the NBA, the Heat in 2010, it took them a year to figure it out.
yeah, but Wendy, you don't lose an all-time great. You don't lose a guy that was playing at an all-NBA level, the second most important player right behind Luka Doncic, and come back and have any type of flex to have any type of excuse. Like LeBron James just left the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James just left the Los Angeles Lakers. Deep down inside, do we really think LeBron actually wanted to leave? It was probably 50-50, to be honest with you. And then all of a sudden, he sat back and he started watching them make moves, or lack thereof. And all of a sudden, you lose them. The Lakers fan base don't have that type of understanding. Like, they're spoiled.
Our job is to teach them now.
Well,
You ain't gonna teach a spoiled fan base.
guys,
Oh, Lakers fan.
the key thing, I mean, happiness, right? But meaningful basketball.